What do we got today? We got ourselves a little bit of a shake-up for Team Kreiser. We got Ancient Chaos again. We got Kreiser again. We got Tasty still waiting his turn to play. We got also Oko in here and Ninoli. Ninoli. We also got on Team Blue. We got Burnoder, DK Hayes, Toku. Wait. Toku and Okasakalogo. I thought we were the same person for some reason. Then it was also going to be Yex on Team Zakati. Alrighty, Toku versus Ninoli. Gonna go for that honor duel. Interesting, boys. Interesting. We'll see how that's gonna go. Ninoli's fairly new, and Toku shows up to these from time to time. But I don't see him all that often. It's gonna be Survival Hunter versus Subrogue. Or Subrogue? I want to say Assassin. Not a lot of people even try Sub in these. Sub is really good, though. Sub is really good. I like Italian Sub the best. It's going to be grenades by Toku as he's trying to get some setup onto Ninoli. Gonna go behind the pillar. Gonna get the dots rolling on the Rapture. So it's going to be a very soft opener for the both of these. Toku is kind of thinking, you know what? Maybe I should get in there. Maybe I should really get at this rogue. Get my pet to stun him and then really go home. And Ninoli's just kind of letting the dots stick down onto the pet. Has a full kidney shot. Is going to use the common points on Toku. Gonna go for the pet sack a little bit early. And that's going to be Ninoli bailing behind the pillar. Got all the dots on Toku. Going to get another grenade throw in there. Try to see if he can catch up to the rogue before the dots really start doing a number. Ninoli needs to maintain their concoction as best as possible while behind the pillar. That pet is doing quite a bit of damage. Throwing down a trap. Ninoli again. Yeah, there we go. Concoction. Full kidney shot. Is that what he's going to do? He's going to wait until Toku comes around and get those kidneys in there? Is he just trying to I think he's not even... Oh, freezing trap to set him up for a second. Gonna be cooldowns out of Toku. Gonna be an evasion for Ninoli. Stun coming out. Trinket coming on. That's gonna be a setup. Good trinket for Toku. Got a trinket out of Ninoli. Vanish coming in. That's gonna be flare off the bat. Does still landing a road cheap shot. And Toku actually has no health. Big Vendetta is rolling him right now. That's where Ninoli actually, I think, decided to go counter pressure onto the cooldowns of Toku. That's what it looked like. And I just didn't see it. Gonna be a couple of... I don't know where that trap went. It looked like he kind of just YOLO'd that one. Just yeeted it around the corner. Ninoli's still hanging in there, waiting for that another kidney shot. Gonna be a trinket for sure out Toku. Trinkets out of it like clockwork. Gonna get a couple grenades into Ninoli. Needs to get the dots rolling. Needs to get some damage in. Gonna be Manic Bandages disrupting that immediately. And Ninoli now has the full stun lock combo if he needs to on Toku. He's going to get a blind onto the pet, so he actually can fight against Toku one-on-one. Toku just sees a little bit of damage. Does get a kill command with a blinding pet. At least the pet knew where to go with that big bite. Maledict with that kidney. Is Toku going to survive this damage, or it actually looks like he is going to go down? Alrighty. That was probably the most unconventional setup I saw for an Assassin's Rogue with Ninoli. Running around the pillar. Wait until you have a kidney shot. But I guess it works. Next up is going to be Zakati. Not playing any games. Dropping down the A-bomb onto wherever Ninoli was. And A-bomb is going to do quite a bit of damage. That's going to be rooted by the pet. And Zakati didn't even have to lift a Pikachu in that duel. He just dropped down the pet, beefed up the other, let the pets do the work, and down goes the rogue. Tasty is up next. So it's going to have to go spoof out of there as the Army of the Dead is going to chase after him. Needs to get a slow onto the army to stop their impeding aggression to him. That's going to be Necrotic stacking up a little bit early. Zakati is going to eat some damage from that. Light the last is going to get a stun to Tasty to disrupt. It has his own AMS. Has a trinket, has IBF to deal with right now. So between the pet stun or the pet interrupt, if the pet is beefed, he doesn't have a lot to work with. Oh, he has plenty to work with. Gonna be a Matic onto Zakati right now. Tasty burned up Matic a little bit too early. Trying to go for big damage onto Zakati right now with big zaps right now. Earthshock's to fall, and Zakati is still hanging in there. Barely looks like he took a scratch. His health is full. This boy's health bar is full. Into an Earthshock onto Zakati as he's trying to continue those necrotics. Earthshock into a Frost Shot to keep him at bay, so at least he could get away from all those pets. This is where Zakati, I'm pretty sure, is setting up another pet stun whenever Tasty inevitably gets another Lightning Lasso. Needs this pet stun right now. Doesn't get it. Full Lightning Lasso to Zakati. Actually took the full damage of it, but at what cost? He got the big Abomination chasing after him, stunning all the demon, all the pets, and he's going to try to get out. Let's give Zakati gripping him in. Chain of Ice to follow. It's going to be Army of the Dead. Needs to get big person's damage onto Zakati on Tasty right now. Damage for Zakati. I'm just so low today, man. Did I literally get all my energy out in those last few duels? Damn. Tasty got the runs, dude. Look at that. This boy's making it out around place. Try to get a thunderstorm onto the pet. Lightning lasso. Is that perfect with Zacati? Has a trick at the last moment. Didn't have the pet to do anything. That was actually, was that a pro move by Tasty? Was that a pro thunderstorm onto the pet? Matic onto Zacati. Tasty's still on here. Matic back onto Tasty. Does he ground it? He does ground the Matic, and Zacati actually is super low in health. Tasty could actually take him out. He's able to heal with the healing surges. Gonna be a pet beef up by Zacati. Trying to get as much damage in. Stun onto Tasty right now. Transfusion coming down. Try to see if he can recover as best as possible. Tasty needs to get a lightning lasso. Does he land it? He does. No pet interrupt to follow. The pet explodes. And actually, Tasty almost kills Zacati, but that's going to be a dark pact, death pact. Is it dark pact or death pact? I cannot remember. For Tasty, that's an 8-bomb on one side. Does serve Ghostful for a moment. Does get a couple zaps on the Zacati. AMS preventing any damage. Does go for the Earth Shock into another zap. Barely in health. Actually able to heal. Tasty's gonna go down now. Who's gonna go down? Both of these two just got super low there. And Tasty's gonna continue in the Ghostful for the best possible. Does land slow onto Zacati's stuff. Onto his pet stun coming out. Walk up in for Tasty. Needs to get as much healing as possible. Who is gonna win this one? Death pact, death pact. Okay, good enough, close enough. Death pact, I like it. Death pact. Earth shock onto Tasty as he does have transfusion, but to separate him with a lasso, Tasty is gonna nab himself a little bit of healing. Healing surges for days. Tasty does need to get another big setup onto Zacati. Might need to go for a big knockback into a lasso onto Zacati. Does he get it? No. Gonna be Matic on Tasty instead. Tasty doesn't have any way to heal. All he has to do is sit Ghostful right now. Lightning lasso coming down, but the pet, does he get the stun? He doesn't. So it's actually gonna equalize both of their healths. That's gonna be Ghostful. Has A-bomb on one side, Zacati on the other. Lots of explosions, but he's still healing for now. Slow coming in for Zacati. Didn't have a grip available. That's gonna be healing surges for Tasty back to back. Zacati barely has any health. Wants to get another stun set up onto Tasty right now. Stun comes in. Does he get the surges? He does. Continues to heal. This is just the most healing classes in the game right now. Both of these two are not designed as a healer role, but the amount of healing both of them do is just insanely nuts. Tasty's gonna get that big Stormkeeper. Does he get the big Earth Shock in there? With the Stormkeeper trying to get another capacitor onto Zacati. Does he get the big damage? Does get the double zaps back to back. AMS comes to Zacati. Forces out a little bit late though. But Zacati's not going to be able to have that for next setup that Tasty has. The only thing he needs to do is get the lightning lasso in there without the pet. They're not going to be a trinket or anything. This actually didn't knock the pet back, but if he gets lightning lasso and stays ahead of the pet, he might be able to take out Zacati right here. The pet is going to be on top of him. Does he go for it? He might just have to with that. Oh my god, barely any health. Trying to go for a heal surge. Does die to the pet at the very last moment. I cannot believe it. He actually died. Oh my god, my head hurts. That was ramping up as a duel. Oh my goodness. And Ancient Chaos claps him out. Give him that warrior's death. Alright, the rest of the boys get to play though. We got Tasty and we got Zacati out of the duel, so then the rest of you guys can play. Yaxo is going to be playing a Feral Coultier and trying to get a root onto Ancient. Is going to get a regrowth. Actually go for Skull Bash immediately. Ancient is going to go for the wall right now with Dampen Harm, but it's going to be Thorns for Yax. And as soon as he sees the Karma, he's trying to bail out. Ancient trying to maximize the damage of the Karma. Thorns to Karma transaction. Oh my god! What? Was that a Karma? Was that the thickest tick of Karma just now? Oh, by God. By God. Alright, looks like DK Hayes. Is that Purple Haze is a Death Knight? Looks like DK Hayes is going to be up next. Ancient's getting in there early, man. He's trying to get an opener. Trying to get some slows, and DK does get him into a full root. And DK, he's going to use a bit of mobility while he's got it. He's going to boop him back in. A bomb collapsing. Fist of Fury to lock him out. That's going to be a stun by DK. Trying to just stay away from Ancient on any of his cooldowns, I guess. Or just trying to stay out. Once you get the big setup, won't have the stun for it though. Sees the images for Ancient right now. Gonna get the Army of the Dead rolling with an IBF to follow. Getting hit with a disarm, so no healing, no damage. But Ancient is not focusing on getting counter pressure at all. He just wants to peel this Death Knight away, and DK Hayes is fine walking way away from him. The rest of the Army of the Dead are kind of, it's almost like they're waiting in a line to attack Ancient Chaos. Like, they're not attacking them at the same time. They're just waiting in a line, waiting for each other. One of the images being a complete dum-dum. The images are being dumb. They're attacking the pets of DK Hayes. That's not what the pets are supposed to do. Ancient, control your images a little bit better. They're attacking his pets. They see them as a threat. Just because you make some pets doesn't mean it has to be a Pokemon battle here. It's not pets versus pets. Sick Pikachu at DK Hayes. Do it. I dare you. Stun onto Ancient Chaos. Does have Karma out of this one if he needs to. Is he going to use it? Does use Karma immediately. DK gonna try to get slow, but not gonna happen. Gonna try to get away from Ancient ahead of time. And Ancient trying to min-max the damage output here. Gonna have to go for a couple of air fights. And DK is gonna grip him at the last moment. Disarm to follow onto DK Hayes. Is continue to slow down Ancient just to kite him around. Leg sweep coming in. Gonna be a trinket out of DK Hayes. And trying to stay on Ancient as best possible. Does get an interrupt on him. Fist of Fury to follow. Does he die to Fist of Fury? No, does he survive? Barely anybody has any health. That's gonna be in cap into one last hit by Ancient Chaos with, what was it actually that he hit him with? Expel Harm? That's what it was. And Burnouter. Burnout? Can we just call you Burnout? Burnouter is up next. Damn, Ancient, he's actually clapping people, dude. Ancient, we haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Oh, good to have you back, man. This was, wow, he just got, it's like, what just happened? That's twice that happened with Ancient right now. Twice. 4 out of 5 lines group searching up Fire 4 1. There we go, boys. See new faces in here. Is gonna get a bow for Burner. Oh, Burner's letting him get a full reset. And this is where Burner is gonna get in. They get the opener onto Ancient. Trick is out of immediately. And Burner's gonna get hit with an ink cap immediately. Touches up to follow. Gonna get the full army, or not the army of the dead, but the images with the Fist of Fury. Burner's just gonna eat the damage from this. Is gonna drop Darkness, but a touch of death. Doesn't care about Darkness. A Burnouter is gonna go up in the air, but with nothing to hit. It's just gonna flutter out in the sky like a pretty little butterfly. Ancient gonna nab a bunch of heals to get himself full up and running. Gonna be a Metamorphosis for Burnouter with a stun onto Ancient with a Maledict to follow. Ancient does have Karma if he needs to. Burnouter doesn't have a lot of health to work with. And this is gonna go down to the Fist of Fury. He does! Ancient, my man! 4! Ancient killed 4 people! You kidding me, right? Oh my god. Okay, well, Zacati doesn't count. Zacati barely had any health, but he did take the kill 4. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god!